Hello my dear friends, hope you all be fine and doing well. Thank you so much for joining in your channel. My dear friends, today I brought you a very fantastic and nasty game. In this game, I'm going to show you how to punish or how to surprise your opponent while he is playing against you. This trap or this technique is happening when your opponent is playing the Ruy Lopez or Spanish opening. Ruy Lopez or Spanish opening is one of the most we can say dangerous opening that lots of grandmasters playing, especially Magnus Carlsen. He has played this opening widely. So if your opponents played this nasty opening against you, you should know that how to respond to them. So definitely it would be very fantastic. So without wasting the time, let's get started the game. And here your opponent is starting the game by pushing the pawn into e4. So you simply push the pawn into e5. Now he is taking his knight into f3 and attacking to your center pawn. So definitely you are activating your pieces by taking your knight into c6 and defending from your center pawn. So your opponent should not have this pawn. So now your opponent has this option to take his knight into b5. So this is called the Ruy Lopez or Spanish opening. In this position, my dear friends, you are just simply taking your knight into f6, and there is a thing behind this move. What happens that if your opponents capture your knight, so simply you are capturing by your pawn. Can he capture your center pawn by his knight? So my dear friends, it is not a good move for your opponent. It is a blunder. So if your opponents capture your pawn, and this is not the main lines in Ruy Lopez, I already made a video regarding of that and I uploaded in the playlist of my channel. I will add the link of video at the end of that video, so I'm not talking too much about it. But in here you have a very nasty and fantastic move and you can surprise your opponent. As you know that in this position your opponent is attacking to your center pawn by his knight. But in here, my dear friends, you have one of the best move, and I am suggesting you while you are playing online or offline, so you can use it against your opponents. If your opponents knows this technique, definitely he will not fall in this technique. But if he doesn't have any idea, especially amateur players, they will fall in this trap. And by taking out your knight into f6, you are attacking to your opponent's pawn. So in this position, your opponent has to defend from his pawn. So your opponent has two options to defend from his pawn. One of the option is taking his knight, and another option is pushing the pawn. Be careful, my dear friends, in this position. If your opponent push the pawn into d3 and defend from his pawn, you have a very nasty technique, and that is taking your knight into e7. When you are taking your knight into e7, your opponent will be surprised, and he will think with himself that why he made such a big mistake, why he took back his knight into e7, as this knight was defending your pawn. But when you take it into e7, in fact, you weakened your center pawn. Now your opponent is easily capturing your pawn. But let me show you, is it a good idea for your opponent? And this is the trap that you want your opponents to fall in this trap. In case if your opponents couldn't find the base move and he decides to capture your pawn by his knight, in this position, you have this nasty move, and that is pushing the pawn into c6 and attacking to your opponent's bishop. Your opponent has two options. The first one is taking his bishop into c4, and the second option is taking his bishop into a4. It depends upon to your opponent. If your opponents take his bishop into a4, and here you have this brilliant move, and that is giving a check by your queen and attacking to your opponent's knight in the center, and also attacking to the bishop. So your opponent, by taking his knight into c3, he can defend from his bishop, but he is losing his knight. So definitely you can easily capture the knight by your queen. So now you are one piece up. Definitely you will win the game easily. But let me show you, there is a hidden technique behind this move, and your opponent, if he is finding the base move, he can trap you, and you should know that how you should not fall on that trap. In this position, when you are pushing the pawn into c6, you are threatening your opponent. But here your opponent is not choosing to take back his bishop. And instead of that, he is finding the best move. And that is taking his knight into c4. So my dear friends, I have a simple question from you. Is it possible to capture this bishop by your pawn? It is a good move? No, my dear friends, be careful. In this position, you should not be in a hurry to capture the pawn because your opponent has a nasty checkmate in only one move. Can you find it, my dear friends? Yes, your opponent is giving this nasty smaller checkmate. In this way, you can't move anywhere as your king is locked by your own pieces. In only one move, your opponents can checkmate you. So what is the best move in here for black? In this position, my dear friends, the best move for black is to pushing the pawn into d6. Now, you are opening a square for your king. From other hand, your opponents now cannot capture your pawn because it has a defender, and that is queen. Now your opponent has only one option, and that is taking his bishop into a4. Now you can attack to both of the pieces by pushing the pawn into b5. And here, if your opponent decides to capture your pawn, so simply you are capturing by your queen and attacking to the bishop as well. So your opponent is saving his bishop. But in this position, you have lots of good moves. At the end, you are one piece up. Definitely, you will win the game. So thank you so much, my dear friends, for watching this fantastic video. And I hope you enjoyed from watching this video. Whenever you are learning these techniques and traps, use it in your game. And you will see that how your game improves. Thank you so much. If you love the contents that I am making, please subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends and family members. In this way, you are motivating me to make lots of good videos in the future. Thank you. See you in the next video.